What's up, witches? What is going on? What's up? Let me see. Do I like that camera better? Which camera view do you guys like? What's up, witches? Good morning. I'm just playing around with the camera. Thanks to you, we have our snazzy new light camera for a better view, and I'm going between that and there. Do you guys like this view better? You can kind of see a little bit better. What do we think? What do we think? Can you see better with this view? Shall we try it for a little bit? Good morning, Drea. Good morning, Lady Leo. Good morning, Maruta. Welcome to the Coven Ramblings of a Seeker. How perfect that your name is Ramblings of a Seeker, because that's one of our Coven level memberships, being a Seeker. Isn't that cool? You're in the right place. Yes, is this your first tea and tarot? You have green tea and a blunt rolled and waiting? Ramblings of a Seeker, I think you're going to fit in just fine around here, darling. You're going to fit in just fine. Good morning, Linda. Hey, Betty. I'm going to go with this camera, okay, you guys? Thanks to your super chats, we were able to get a camera for when tea and tarot is happening at home, as it is this morning. Because the sun, does its thing, and we have to cooperate with the sun. And I would like for the sun to go and jump over into the southern sky for me right now, so we had lots of light. But the sun is like, no, it's 9 in the morning. I am still in the east. So we have a camera with a light, which is awesome. But I'm like, not sure how I feel about the view. But you guys let me know. I have words on the screen anyway, so you can't really see the table anyway. My next level up for us, I've been talking about this for a while, but I'm going to make it happen. My next level up for us is going to be like a dual camera view. It can be done. I just have to make sure I have the right equipment and everything all set up and whatever to go into the same place. But I think I can make it so that somewhere on the screen, there will also be a view of the table of the cards, is what I'm thinking would be nice. So you can look down too and see the cards. But I mean, I always show them, but still, it might be nice to have two views, right? So I'm trying to work on that. But that's the next. That's the next. Okay. A level up. All right. Which will probably happen this year because 2023 is all about the level up, is what it's turning out to be. Hey, June. Welcome. It was so good seeing you the other day. Good morning, Sabrina. Welcome. So what's up, witches? This is the full moon live Zodiac tarot readings for this upcoming full moon in Libra. It's the full pink moon that's going to be happening on Thursday, wee hours of the morning, Wednesday into Thursday, like 12:34 in the morning, Thursday morning, late Wednesday night. So it's coming up. So we have time to prepare. If you are not sure what to do with this full moon energy, you're not sure what it means or what it might mean specifically for you, then you're in the right place. That's what we do here. We come together on the full moons and on the new moons. Thank you, whoever scanned the QR code. Whoop, whoop, shout out to you. We come together every new moon, every full moon to talk a little bit about the energy, to pull cards for each of our zodiac signs, and to see how that might show up for each of you in your lives so you can plan accordingly. It's not to scare you or cement your future into stone, but just to give us an idea of how the energy might be shifting over the next couple of weeks so we can actually use that to our benefit and not be caught off guard. So that's what we do here in these readings. We used to do a reading for the whole collective, which was fun, but I've been narrowing it down lately specifically to zodiac zodiac signs. So whether it is your sun, moon, or rising sign, I would tune into those messages and maybe take notes on them, see how they apply to you over the next couple of weeks, and use the messages that come through to help you to navigate the things that might come up in your life. What else? I'm not an astrologer. We are going to talk about astrology because, obviously the readings are timed astrologically. We do these readings based on the moon phases, which are astrological transits. So we're going to talk about the astrology. The OGs who've been here for a while know that it will come up in the cards anyway if we didn't talk about it. So we do talk a little bit about the astrology, but I really am pretty much tuned into what the moon is doing, and I usually pay attention to a couple other of the big things, but I'm not an astrologer. I do not spend all day like breaking down the math and science of the stars. There are astrologers out there who do that, so I encourage you to follow astrologers. Pull your birth chart from a free website. There are a bajillion out there. I use Cafe Astrology, but pull your birth chart and pay attention to these transits as they happen and the things that are going on in your own chart. Because for me, it turns out that doing that is really, really helpful. It just helps me to navigate my life so much better. It's uncanny the amount of information that I get from like my birth chart, and I've read it like a bajillion times, but just as I go through life, things about it stand out more as transits happen. Things about it matter more. So anywho, pull your birth chart from a free website, have it, pay attention to these transits, and take a look at your own chart. See how these things show up for you. Good morning, Mika. Welcome. Hey, Ginger Snap. Welcome, welcome. Hey, JB. How are you? I got your order. I saw your order. I got you. Packing them tomorrow. Yes. Welcome, welcome. What's up, everybody? Cheers to everyone who is drinking their tea from their high tea or drinking their coffee from their roast and toast mugs. We only have a few left, so that makes me feel like most of you have gotten yours, which is awesome. If you are a Coven member, you don't have to be a Coven member to rock the mug, but we come together privately as a coven for high teas on the full moon, where we are a little bit more intimate, and I got us mugs to kind of commemorate. So if you are a Coven member, you plan on tuning in to our little high tea sessions, then handle up on I guess what has become the official high tea mug, which is a really cool ceramic mug that also has a smoking pipe. So we smoke our herbs and we drink our herbs and we chat about magic and we retwist my hair and all kinds of things in high tea. And you might want to grab the mug. I think there's like 6 left in the shop. So, and I don't know if I'm going to bring them back because I kind of feel like they're kind of like an us thing, they're not really like just a general thing. So we'll see. We'll see if after they sell out, if people are like, bring back the mugs, and we'll bring back the mugs, but they might not come back. So definitely grab yours if you are interested. They're there. Ramblings of a Seeker is Tazo green tea with lemongrass and spearmint. That's great. I am going to be drinking a lot more green tea over the next 6 weeks or so because I'm doing another sadhana, doing another detox, and green tea is one of the best teas that you can drink for your health in general, but especially if you're trying to lose weight, maintain your weight, you're concerned about your metabolism, stuff like that. And you can work magic with green tea, which we're going to learn all about in the Be a Better Tea Witch episode with Janae Maron Tate. That is going to be coming out soon. The BetterWitch podcast, my podcast, season 2 premieres tonight. I hope you guys have cleared your schedules, cleared your calendars, okay? Tonight, 7 p.m. It is the season premiere. I'm very excited. We are kicking off with a chat with Sarah Lyons, who is the author of How to Study Magic, which the book club, the secret level of the Coven, read in January of this year. So we got to sit down and talk to her about being a better baby witch, how to do it better, how to navigate that whole period of your practice a little bit smoother, how to not be so overwhelmed by all of the stuff that's out there, all of the advice that everybody and their mama's trying to give you. So I'm super excited for this episode. It's not the first episode that I recorded, but it had to be the first episode because I was like, we started off the year with talking about how do you study magic better. And if Better Witch is all about being a better witch, then we should talk about being a baby witch better. Like that's what we are doing. So let's get better at that. So we're starting off with her, but then I think we meet with Janae Maron Tate either next. I want to say. I might have made that up. She's somewhere in the first 5 episodes. I can't remember. She's somewhere in the first 5 episodes. But we'll be meeting with Janae Maron Tate and learning all about specifically tea, the tea plant Camellia sinensis, and the magic you can work with it. And green tea is Camellia sinensis. So that's cool. June's drinking mullein leaf spearmint peppermint tea. Yes, very nice. Lots of healing for the lungs in there. Sabrina's having chai cinnamon. Betty's having spiced hibiscus, lots of spicy teas, which makes a lot of sense. It's like weird warm cold here right now. It's like warm out, but then there's like a super cold breeze. It's giving spring. So I've been doing the spicy tea as well. I've got skinny spice over here in my cup, ginger and cardamom, lots of spice. Maruta's having OJ. Yum. You want to know a funny story about OJ? I don't drink it now because I have had to reduce my sugar intake. I used to be real big on juice, like just fruit juices, and there's so much sugar in that. But when I was a kid, I was so obsessed with orange juice that I drank like a whole half gallon in a day or 2 half gallons in a couple of days or something like that. My mom had gone grocery shopping. This was like in Charleston for the summertime, and she like stocked up the refrigerator, because down in the country, you go to like the big huge stores and you have like 2 freezers in your garage and you like stock up your house. It's not like New York City shopping where you like only buy what you can carry. And you stock up the house. So she had like stocked up the house with orange juice, and I just like went in on the orange juice, no water, just like drank straight cups of orange juice for days, and broke out in a full body hive. And they took me to the doctor and I was like, what is going on? And they were like, we think she's just having an allergic reaction to just like way too much vitamin C. Like, yeah. So I feel you on the OJ. It's not just OJ Maruta. OJ is special to me. Can't drink it as much as I'd like, but I love it. Coffee for you, fantastic. Mika also having coffee, wonderful. Are you guys having coffee in your premium roast and toast mugs? Because that would be cool. Okay, let's see what else is going on. I will let you guys know that if you receive a message today that resonates with you, then you can say thank you. You can exchange that energy with a super chat on this video. If you're watching this on a replay, you can do a super thanks. Someone did a super thanks the other day. Thank you so much. It works. I was like, this actually works. It works. So if you're watching this on a replay, you can still say thank you, exchange energy with a super thanks. You can scan the QR code at the top of the screen as someone just did in order to leave a donation through my website, or you can go to my website, which is bronxwitch.com, and you can click on the ways to support page, and it will show you all the different ways that you can support me and the shop that I have opened here in the Bronx, New York, whether that be donating supplies that we need, donating funds, getting cool merchandise for you to rock, etc., etc. So volunteer opportunities when we have them go on that page. So definitely check that out. And thank you guys so much. Over the last 2 readings, we were raising funds for a light and holder situation in order for us to make content and make online content and try to bring more of what's happening in the shop onto the interwebs. So those of you who are not local can participate. Thank you so much. We were able to pull that off. We got it this week. All of the shop witches have been familiarizing themselves with the equipment, and it is already going into good use. So thank you so much for that. We are knee deep in a project that I've been kind of keeping secret, sort of just telling people who are interested. But I think it's time now to start letting the cat out of the bag. Every single class that we have been offering this year at this shop, whether it be Chelsea's Herbal Journal course, the course that is going to be taking us through the world of herbalism, tackling 10 different herbs in each class, centered around a particular intention, medicinal or magical. She is getting ready to teach the second class in person called Healing the Heart, focusing on 10 herbs on love magic, heart health, etc., heart healing magic, etc. We've had our crystal basics course that's being taught by our shop witch Alexis, that is going to be taking you all through the world of crystals, how to spot fakes, how to actually connect with them. How do you know how to connect with them, right? A lot of times they just feel like a rock. Why is that? She is the crystal wizard, so she's going through a whole in-depth exploration of crystals. We have Leslie bringing her spiritual baños, spiritual baths classes to the shop. Fifi's teaching sex magic classes, which I'm super, super excited about. We have plans in the summertime, probably in Pride Month, to maybe focus the class around male identifying witches, because we've been focusing on vulva owners. The classes that are in the shop are happening, of course. My tarot classes in the works. Blah, 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 blah. So all of these amazing classes are happening at the shop. And the one thing we've been hearing from everybody every time we post about them is, when are these going to be online? Are these available online? Can we take them online? And, with having a physical location, obviously our focus really has to be on the physical location. We have people here in the South Bronx who don't even know that we exist yet. And so making sure that we have in-person classes and that the community knows that we're here is super, super important. But I realize that it's also important that we respond to the whole community. Our community is part in person, part online. And so we have to find a way to balance, which is perfect for this full moon in Libra. But we have to find a way to balance and make sure that both sides of our communities are met. So we are doing that by making all of our classes virtual classes. So we are in the process right now of recording all of the classes. I am editing everything, getting everything up and running. If you want to take a sneak peek of the online class portal, you can do that at bronxwitch.com. Just click on classes and events and go to online. And you can actually sign up for your online course portal right now. It's free to sign up for the course portal. And on April 20th, we will drop a few courses for you guys to get started on. And then as we teach classes at the shop, we will also get them up on the online portal for those of you who can't get to the shop. So we're really, really excited. It's obviously a lot of work for this witch right here, because I'll be doing all the editing and putting it together, but it's also a lot of work for the shop witches who have to turn their classes that they created for in-person interactions into, online. How do we take our bath demonstration and do it online in a way that makes you feel like you're there and all that stuff? So lots of work that is going into it. And so that is why we are turning our focus for the super chats to funding the online class portal. So we have several things that we will need to do financially in order to be able to get these classes to you guys in a nice, organized, convenient fashion. Make it so that you can sign up for your course portal and always have access to the classes and always have access to the future classes that come out and, all that good stuff. You signed up for the sex magic class online. Yay, 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 yay. So the sex magic online class is being offered through Fifi. And she was kind of the test run of the online concept. So that's being offered directly through her. But definitely go to bronxwitch.com and go to our online page and sign up for our online course portal, because the sex magic class will be on there, but so will all of the other classes that we are teaching at the shop. So you can create your account. And that ain't free. The online portal costs money. So we're going to raise money for that, so that we can make that possible to a wider audience. So if you are moved by any of the messages that you received today, if they resonate deeply, if last weeks or 2 weeks ago's message resonated deeply and you're back, share that with us in the comment. Let us know in the chat how those messages resonated with you, and you can always leave a super chat for that. Um, and yeah, I'll keep you posted on our fundraising efforts. The most important thing for us right now is to be able to actually fund the portal, which is a monthly obligation. So that'll be kind of like an ongoing obligation. So anything that we receive in super chats, super thanks, and donations will be going to that. So thank you, and thank you, Maruta. I love how Restream explains the emojis. It's so much better than seeing the emojis. Pair character exaggeratedly stretching his arm forward to offer a cup of coffee. Thank you, Marita. I extended back. Consider it done. Yes. Yeah, someone, listen, let me tell you, y'all are pressed for these online classes, and I can't even blame you because I haven't posted about it yet. I haven't told anybody yet. I haven't even made my little Instagram post about it yet. And like 10 people have signed up for the online portal. So y'all are just like stalking the website, which is good. That's the idea, right? Stalk the website and notice that it was coming. So good eye, y'all. Good eye, y'all. But yeah, go to classes and events, click on online, or you can just go to bronxwitch.com/online. But if you're on the website, it's under classes and events. You now have a choice under classes and events, in person or online. And on the online, you can take a sneak peek, look at what the portal is going to look like, see a little bit of information about me and some of the shop witches, and you can create your account so you're good to go. Good morning, Lauren Bird. Good morning. Can you guys hear the music in the background? I put it really low, but it might be too low. Okay, so that is what we are raising funds towards. Thank you in advance, and I'll keep you posted on all of that. And then, real quick, I just wanted to show you guys something. It was in my like little Instagram-y ASMR thingy that I posted yesterday, but I just wanted to show you guys this deck that I got for two reasons. One, it's just gorgeous, so I wanted to shout out the creator. But two, I also wanted to show off like why you need to stop by the shop. If you live in New York City and you have not stopped by the shop yet, I was going to say a plague upon your family, but it might actually happen when I say it. So I'm not going to say all of that. I'm just going to say that you should be questioning yourself. If you live in New York City and you haven't been to the shop yet, you should be questioning yourself. Are you really about this life? Okay, because HQ is the place to be. It is the hub. And one of the coolest things that we have going on is our used book and deck program. And like, I would have never thought before opening the shop that I would be so into getting used decks, because I am the type of person that likes, things to be pretty shiny, brand new, especially something like that. I would think like, ooh, a spiritual item. I wouldn't want to get it, after somebody else has used it. I am all about the used decks now. I'm so excited about like our program because everyone who has been bringing in decks is somebody who obviously loves and cares about tarot and cares about their decks, because every deck that comes in is so pristine, so nice, you can barely notice that anyone has touched it. And then obviously we cleanse it and we re-shrink wrap it and reset it and all of that good stuff. But like, just it's so nice to get decks from people that care about their decks, because the decks that people choose are really good and the quality that they bring in is really good. So I'm really lucky, obviously being in the shop, I get to sometimes peruse the used deck pile. And Dahlia, shout out to Dahlia, brought in a big old donation of decks, and this was in it, and I wanted to show it to you guys because it's so cute, but it's also so powerful. It's called Personal Power Oracle deck, and I don't know if this is backwards or not for you guys, but Personal Power Oracle deck by Deja Druitt, which I think is a made-up name, which is cool. Deja Druitt, get it? So she designed the book and the deck, and it is so HQ. It is so me. I get this deck, and it's freaking, the box is pink and purple. Look at my nails. Pink and purple. Matches perfectly. I was like, are you serious? I start flipping through the deck. When I tell you, My entire vision board is in this deck. It is so freaky. It's bizarre. My entire vision board this year. If you're a Coven member, you can go back if you didn't hang out for, when did we do it? It was high tea, like around Samhain every year. That's my new year. That's when I make my vision board. And yeah, so if you go back around Samhain, there is a high tea live where we were hanging out making vision boards. I was talking about how to make them, tips and tricks that I've learned along the years to make it easier, etc. And like, if I showed you this, you'd be like, "Oh my god, it's just crazy." Yeah, ooh, ah, for sure. At this deck, it's really beautiful. Thank you, June. Yes, to the portal. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Lauren Berg. Shiba dog happily massaging his cheeks with his mouth wide open. I like that. Thank you. Thank you, Ginger Snap. Yes. Yes, Bronx. Hello, Bold Bearings. You better come visit the shop if you're shouting out the Bronx. Okay, because this is where we're at. But I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of this deck. I think it is so beautiful. I think you can follow Deja Druid on Instagram at Deja Druid, probably DejaDrewit. Let me see if I can type that. Yes, okay, it's in the chat. Yeah, so follow them. Beautiful, beautiful deck. Mirror gilded. This is gonna like blind the camera. Beautiful silver gilded back. And then something I don't see often, a color gilded side. I love that. Usually you see silver or gold on the side, but they went with silver on the front, giving this mirror. The deck is called Personal Power, so it's a mirror on the front, and then beautiful, my like favorite shade of pink on the back. But so the cards are beautiful. Hold on, let me see something. One second. One second. Okay, let me see something. I think we can see the cards better with the other camera, yeah? Okay, I'm gonna do the other camera. We're gonna do the other camera for a little bit. Okay. Let's see how that goes. Okay. Because the colors and everything on this are just too cute. I don't want you to miss it. Right? That one is I Am Passionate. I Surrender. I Am Safe. I Am Worthy. Yes. Into that. Not nice. This is perfect. I Embrace Change. Covered in snake skin. I Am a Healer. Thank you, Sabrina. You're a character lifting some weight saying, keep it up. Thank you. It's beautiful. They have a website. This, yeah, you'll want to order directly from them, I think, Betty. I do want to have these in the shop. Just like I Am Lovable. I'm Curious. I Am Cleansed. I love, so I was doing a little bit of research on the maker. The artist, I believe, immigrated from Russia to New York, and then at some point moved either to California or Hawaii, maybe, and maybe had a family or something. But I think what I love about this deck so much, that's I Am Abundant, by the way. Check it out. I don't know if it's picking up the like just the hint of like yellow and gold in the card. I think one of the things I like about this deck so much, aside from just the art is so beautiful, and each of the affirmations really rings true. You know, this is personal power. And so these are all these beautiful, declarative, powerful statements. That one is I am wild and free. This one is I am celebrated. You guys remember my vision board? I am celebrated. And yeah, so the affirmations are beautiful, the paintings are beautiful, or drawings or whatever they are. The colors are incredible. Some of the cards are like light and pink and purpley, and some of them are like this, more dark and like sexy, more Scorpio-y vibes. But what I really like about it is so diverse, but not in like a forced way. Each of the characters is really different. They look like they could be from a different part of the world, a different culture, a different background. Most of them are really just sort of like ambiguous, but we've got different ages represented here. This is a crone figure in the I Trust in Divine Timing card. Okay, if you guys remember my vision board, hello. This is like basically cut out from it. But yeah, so I mean, just beautiful and very diverse. And I think that has to do maybe with the with the maker's background and having seen different parts of the world and lived in different parts of the world. So it just, I really feel like every aspect of who we are, this is I tune out negative people and thoughts. Look at that. I am unbreakable. Someone with a prosthetic. I just freaking love it. So anyway, I just wanted to share it with you. I wanted to share it with you to shout out the author and say, go check out this deck. Manifesting having it in the shop at some point. It's called the Personal Power Oracle Deck by Deja Druitt. And I wanted to show it to you because I wanted to show you some of the like really cool and beautiful and different and interesting decks that come through the bookshop. So if you have decks that you are no longer interested in, you can donate them to our used deck program. We will love them and refresh them and give them a new home. And if you are looking for decks and are on a budget or just looking for decks, then stop by and come and check them out. They rotate too quickly for us to put them on the website. So you've got to come by the shop and check out what has now grown to, I think, 3 shelves worth of decks. So come on by and check them out because it's just beautiful to me that people would bring in these decks that they like, literally flip through like once. And we're like, here, you can have this. And a brand new deck in a, magnetic keepsake box can be $40, $50 sometimes. So. They were sold out, but Lauren Berg says they're available now. Oh, that's good. Yes, Sabrina, it is Personal Power Oracle Deck. Your favorite Oracle deck is the Shaman's Dream Oracle. Well, you guys know I really don't have many Oracle decks. I have the Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck that I've had forever. That's been my one Oracle deck, but that's back at the shop. And I use that for mostly the readings that I do at the shop now. And then we recently got gifted this Anatomy of a Witch Oracle deck by Laura Tempest Sackroff. So we have been using that for our at-home readings lately. And this is now only my 3rd Oracle deck, really. Oh, and you can get it without the box. That's cool. You just ordered it on Amazon. Cool. Yeah, it's beautiful. So check it out. Check it out. Check out the decks that we have at the shop. More to come, and maybe that one. see. Any other gossip? I don't think so. If you're just coming into the room, welcome. This is the full moon live zodiac tarot readings for this upcoming full pink moon in Libra. We come together every full moon and every new moon to pull cards for each of the zodiac signs to get an idea of how this moon phase might impact you or what energies are going to be out there that you might want to call into your life and utilize to your benefit. Um, this upcoming full moon is happening on Thursday, late Wednesday night, 12:34-ish on the Eastern Standard Times. It is a pink moon because of the flowers that are blooming at this time. A bunch of the magnolias and cherry blossoms in the park near me are blooming, so it makes sense to me. And then it's in Libra. So, first of all, rituals, full moon. What ritual am I going to be doing for the full moon? I have a ritual that I do every new moon and every full moon. And if you have been paying attention, then by now you should know what it is. And the only reason, hey, Julissa, what's up? The only reason why I mention that every time is not because I think you should do this particular ritual, but because I want each and every one of you to begin developing your regular rituals, okay? So that we can go beyond just consuming witch content and actually living our witchy lives. And one of the best ways to do that is to establish rituals that are magical in nature, that align you with nature, that align you with your ancestors, that align you with spirit, whatever your goal is, that you check in with regularly. Yes, it's a bath. Whoop, 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 whoop. Every full moon, I take a spiritual bath. Okay, so I'll be preparing that. Was today Tuesday? I'll be preparing it tomorrow night and taking it first thing in the morning when I get up Thursday before I start my day. Your thing does not have to be a bath, okay? Your thing could be anything. But the idea is to develop a thing, something that attunes you into the cycles of nature. And that could be something that happens very seldomly. Maybe you tune yourself to the wheel of the year and you honor the Sabbats just 8 times a year. Maybe you just honor the solstices and the equinoxes and you don't bother with the cross quarter days. And so you just have 4 celebrations a year, 4 rituals a year that you stick to. Maybe you want something a little bit more frequent. And so you go with the changing of the sun signs that happens every month, right? Every month we go into a new zodiac sign. Maybe you have a ritual that commemorates the change from one zodiac sign to the next. Maybe you want something more frequently than that. Maybe you align yourself with what the moon is doing. And now you have a ritual that you do twice a month, a full moon ritual and a new moon ritual. Maybe you have something weekly. It always happens on Sunday or something like that. But whatever it is that you do, whatever the frequency of it, developing some type of a ritual that connects you to nature, connects you to your magical practice is one of the best ways to go from just consuming witch content, reading books, watching videos, and actually saying, I am a witch, I live my life as witches do. So that's the reason why I bring it up. And I always check in with you guys about what your rituals are. And it's not to put pressure or to make you feel like, oh, I must be doing something on the full moon because it's what witches do. There are plenty of full moons where I don't get my bath in. There are plenty of new moons where I don't get my fast in. But the idea is to have a regular practice of connecting with the energy around us, because as witches, that's what we work with, energy. So we need to check in with it. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Lots of comments coming in. Prayer in the shower is beautiful. That's a really great point. Jalissa, turning your nightly shower into a ritual is fantastic. That is something that I do. My nightly shower is not just to wash myself. There's a reason why it happens nightly and religiously so. Like, I must shower before I go to bed. If something happens where I cannot shower before I go to bed, sometimes I will just sleep on the couch rather than take my dirty body into into my bed. I treat that as an energetically clean place. I keep it clean. I wash the sheets regularly. I don't get in it with dirty clothes on. I don't get in it with a dirty body, and I make sure to shower every night. And my shower is about releasing the energy that I've collected in the day, along with any physical dirt. So your nightly shower can become a ritual, and the simple act of stating an intention or a prayer during or before your bath or your shower can turn it into a ritual. You can get spell soaps like my white bath soap, which you can use in the shower and turn your shower into a whole spiritual bath. So it doesn't have to be complicated, but something that's consistent and regular. Oh, so not a little bit. And rituals are good for a shower. Yeah, simple rituals are great for a shower. Destiny, lighting a candle and saying a prayer before getting in the shower. Obviously, making sure the candle is somewhere safe and attended to. But lighting a candle before getting in the shower, and then when you get out of the shower, whenever you do ritual bathing, when you get out, don't dry your body normally. Instead, wrap your body and your head in white sheets, white towels, white cloths, and then go and sit in front of that candle and sit in meditation while your body dries, and let yourself air dry um, rather than drying like normal. Okay, and that will change your regular shower into a spiritual and magical experience, all very simply. Yes, and yeah, spiritual baths are not like regular baths. That's actually why I like showers for spiritual cleansing, because they are more similar to what a spiritual bath is like than a bath is. When you take a spiritual bath, you are usually not sitting and soaking in it. It's not something you luxuriate in. It is something that you pour over yourself on a clean body in a clean, basin or tub or what have you. Oftentimes the purpose of a spiritual bath is to cleanse and remove, so you're not trying to sit in your funk, you're releasing the energy and you're watching it go down the drain or run down the riverbed or whatever it's doing, and it's going away from you. Every once in a while it makes sense to sit in a type of a bath, perhaps a sweet bath. If you're trying to attract a lover, you might want to draw a beautiful sort of self-care, sensual bath with honey and flowers and things like that, and actually sit in it and let the oils and the fragrances and colognes that you've used permeate your skin, and all of that stuff. So sometimes we will do a bath with a spiritual or a magical intention and say sit in it for a while. But typically, baths are associated with the things that we are cleansing and removing from our bodies. So we are pouring them all over ourselves in a downward fashion, head to toe, and we're washing them away. And then Jalissa mentioned the prayer. Your prayer really can be anything. If your prayer is a church prayer and that's what speaks to you, many of us grew up in the church, and it feels like to be witches, we have to abandon the practices that we became used to in the church, and that's not the case at all. I invite you to take a look at my podcast episode with Reverend Valerie Love, who is a Christian witch, author of How to Be a Christian Witch. She has the Christian Witch Ministry. She talks all about how you can embrace Christianity and witchcraft at the same time. And so if you grew up in the church and a good old church prayer is what makes you stir inside, it's what makes tears come to your eyes, it's what makes you really feel spirit moving and like you are shifting energy, then go ahead and use the church prayer. But that's not what you have to do when it comes to prayer. A prayer is just a deeply felt and well worded petition to the universe. All right. But yes, I encourage all of you, and I probably sound like a broken record, so my apologies for those of you who are OGs around here, but I am going to always want to remind you guys of the usefulness of developing regular rituals that you stick to. If you do nothing else, if you never cast a spell, if you're not over here casting circles and banishing spirits and stuff, if you just celebrate and honor the Sabbats, for example, the solstices and the equinoxes, you are witching. Okay? You are witching. If you just commit to making a cup of herbal tea every Sunday to connect with the earth, you are witching. Okay, these regular rituals is what makes witches. And I think, and I talk about that with Sarah. So definitely tune into the episode tonight, because I asked her, like, what is a baby witch anyway? And we talk about what it means to go to that next level. And one way that I would define the difference between like a baby witch and someone who really is witching is just having regular rituals. A baby witch does not. A baby witch does not yet have things that they do on a consistent basis. It's more of a when I'm in the mood, or when I have a feeling, or when I'm out shopping with my girlfriends and we go to the crystal shop, or it's these like sporadic kind of instances where things happen. But you are witching when you have a regular ritual and a regular practice, no matter how simple it may seem. Okay. All right. Anyway, rambling a little bit. Let's get into the astrology. I'm gonna light another stick of incense. Oh yes, I love it. You guys are sharing tips on the the baths. Yes, strainers are helpful. Another good reason, if you are outdoors, you live in a warm place, you have a backyard of any kind, to take your baths outside. Don't worry about it. All right. Let's get into it. I think today I'm going to pull an oracle card for us from the Anatomy of a Witch Oracle, Lord Tempest Sackroff. We're still getting to know this deck, so I will probably go to the guidebook for more information on the art from that one, and then we'll be pulling, as usual, from the Mahogany Tarot. Okay, so welcome. These messages are for this full moon in Libra, which happens at 12:34 a.m. early Thursday morning on the 5th. This is a super special time astrologically. Like I said, I'm not an astrologer. I encourage you to pull your birth charts. I encourage you to follow astrologers and listen to their full breakdowns of the different astrological transits right now that are significant. We're going to be pulling cards here today for each of the zodiac signs, sun, moon, or rising. I would tune into, but if you want to go even deeper, you can always book a private reading with me as well, in person at my shop here in the Bronx, or virtually, and you can book all of that at bronxwitch.com. If any of these messages resonate with you, I invite you to leave a super chat, a super thanks, or scan the QR code at the top of the screen and leave a donation. You are helping us to raise funds for the online class portal so that my classes and the classes of the other witches at my shop can be available to those of you who are not local to us. So this full moon in Libra is very exciting for me, super special for me. I'm loving the energy around it. It's falling in the middle of a really cool time. I don't know if you guys know, but we have a double new moon in Aries, which is just like wild. It's very rare that this happens. If you don't know, usually the way it works is the full moon is in the zodiac sign that is opposite of the zodiac sign of the sun at that given time. Okay. And then the new moon is in the same sign as the sun at that given time. So that means if the sun is in Capricorn and we have a new moon, that new moon is going to be in Capricorn. But if the sun is in Capricorn and we have a full moon, then it's going to be whatever is 6 months later, whatever the sign is, that's 6 months later. So it's always going to be the opposite for the full moon, right? So usually there's just one of each, but we have a really cool thing going on where we had a new moon in Aries that happened on March 21st. And then the next new moon, which happens on April 20th, is also going to be in the sign of Aries because Taurus season doesn't happen officially. The sun doesn't move into Taurus until the day after. So we have a double new moon in Aries, which is just like energetically, astrologically, is the most amazing way to start a year I could think of. Aries being the first sign of the zodiac. So astrologically, we are at a new year point. We're starting the year over. The universe was like, hey, we're going to hook you up and we're going to have the new moon fall right at the start of Aries season. How wonderful. So that was a nice double whammy of like new beginning energy. Yes, it is also a solar eclipse as well, Mariah. So that was a double whammy of new beginning, starting over, starting fresh energy. And then like just in case you need extra, just in case it's not clear that like this is the time in your year where you should be making the biggest transformation and fully embracing, like stepping into whatever new version of you it is that you want to show the world. I don't know what else there is. Because on top of all of that, then we're going to get a second new moon in Aries. I mean, just that's a totally transformational thing. And it's like the universe is giving us a whole month to get it done. It's like, this is a big thing. We're not going to have, just 1-2 week phase. Like, we need a whole month so that you can really fully turn a 180 and really just come out of your cocoon and completely transform yourself. So anything that you are setting your intention for, anything that you want to start new, anything that you want to start fresh, this really is the time to do it. You have these 2 new moons in Aries giving you all of this energy to start over and start fresh. And then smack in the middle of that, we have this full moon in Libra. And Libra is about balance. Libra is about harmony. But Libra is also about beauty and aesthetics. Beauty, Libra is an air sign. And so it's like adding air to this mix of fire and allowing you to really push that fire in whatever direction you want it to go. When I think of air and fire mixing together, I think of wildfires. I think of, when places catch on fire and there are wildfires, the number one enemy is the wind, because the wind is just going to push the fire in all kinds of unpredictable directions, and you may not be able to catch up with it, right? And so air is going to propel all of that fire energy forward for you, but it's also going to allow you to kind of push the fire in whatever direction you want it to go. So this is a great time to really take a good look at what you're starting over, what you're starting new, and really define where you want to put your energy and your passion and your direction and all of that motivation towards. Because starting new, when we say like, plant a new seed, start over, start fresh, that can be kind of vague, that can be kind of like, okay, like, so do I just start my whole life over, or like what? A full moon brings illumination. a full moon brings an added element of clarity to the situation. Okay. And so we've got the ability to see things more clearly than normal. And then here we've got Libra to add in the air. We need to really fan the fire and also direct it where we want it to go. So two moons in Aries to give us all of this energy for starting over, planting a new seed, new beginnings, really just shaking loose anything old. And then we've got this full moon in Libra to illuminate where all that fire energy is actually supposed to go. And this is going to help you in two ways. Knowing where the fire energy needs to go is going to help you to direct fire in terms of motivating you in a direction. Where should my passion be most centered? Where should I be focusing my energy and my drive? But the fire energy is also going to help you to release, because fire is a banisher. It's a purifier. It strips you clean of things that you no longer need. It burns away cords. It burns away shackles. So that fire energy not only can motivate you to really take whatever you're launching to the next level and like really give it your all, but it can also help you to cut away things that you don't need. And we have that cutting energy very heavily with Libra as well. So not only do we have the cutting of the fire, but we have Libra's cutting energy, because Libra's pretty cutting too. Libra might be an air sign, but when Libra's done. You know what I'm saying? If you know any Libras, you probably know. Libra will be like, oh my God, I love you. I love you so much. I love you. You're everything in my entire life on Monday. And then on Tuesdays, Libra's like, who are you? Yeah, this isn't working. I gotta go. And you're like, wait, what? Libra will switch it up in a heartbeat. Okay. So that Libra energy is also useful for cutting things off and changing direction, you know. And I'm thinking in my head of the depiction of the Libra card in, I think it's the True Heart Tarot deck. And I think she's standing on top of the sword, you know, like Libra is a balancer. Libra is about justice. And when Libra identifies the parts of something that are not right, it really doesn't take much for Libra to go, okay, cutting that out. Yep, cutting that out. Yep, cutting that out. So you can really use this energy to really sever ties with anything in your world right now that is preventing you from really transforming yourself. Okay, whether that be people, situations, or personal habits. Okay, so you have, this is the universe giving the ultimate helping hand to all of us. Okay, as far as I can tell. Now, other things that are going on that the astrologers tell me is important. Okay, we have the sun doing something conjunct with something or other. Jupiter. I think the sun is conjunct with Jupiter. That's significant. Look into that. I'm also hearing that Pluto has entered into Aquarius. I know that's significant for me. In my chart and all that good stuff. So look into why that might be significant for you. We have a Mercury retrograde coming up around the 20th, I believe. So we're entering into the shadow phase of Mercury retrograde in the next couple of weeks. So be mindful of that. Contracts, agreements, conversations that need to be had. You might want to get those out of the way before we get fully into Mercury retrograde. So as always, lots of things going on. Educate yourself on your own chart and all of that good stuff. We're going to focus in on what is happening with this full pink moon in Libra happening on Thursday, and how this energy of illuminating balance and harmony and beauty and embracing transformation and change is going to show up for each of the zodiac signs. I feel like I always start with Aries, so I'm actually going to go backwards this time and start with Pisces. Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. Now's a good time to drop your sun, moon, and rising signs in the comments. Who's in the building? Receiving a message today. Starting off with the oracle message for all of us. This is an oracle message for the collective. We have love. Love. So a few things are coming through right away with this card. I love how it echoes kind of the lovers. Today is Tuesday, Santa Martha's Day, and she is represented by the snake. So I'm immediately thinking of her. And interestingly, Libra is all about partnerships. Libra is all about partnerships, all about relationships, about balance between the two. We see this element of balance with the two snakes around this sort of like almost like two figures together, two hearts in one. Um, um, it's so interesting because Aries is very much about me. I am is Aries. I am. It's all about self, self autonomy, establishing the self, asserting the self. But Libra, on the other hand, is way more about we, about us, about partnerships. And so a lot of us might be balancing the we and the me this moon phase. So a lot of us might be dealing with balancing our personal, maybe romantic and intimate relationships with ourselves, you know, which makes so much sense to have this Libra full moon right in the middle of these Aries new moons. These Aries new moons are all about me. I'm starting over. I'm asserting myself. I'm planting a seed for what I want to be, how I want to be in the world. Me. And Libra right in the middle is like, okay, but wait a minute. Let's not forget to balance that out with how we interact with other people, how we connect with others. So as much as we might be going through a personal transformation, we also want to pay some attention to how this personal transformation might impact the relationships that we have with others and how we balance that, asserting ourselves with the partnerships that we have with others. So some of us might be exploring new relationships, trying to find time in our lives for romantic relationships, for partnership. Okay. And some of us might be infusing or needing to use this full moon time to infuse some self love into that process, because in order to transform and embrace the me and the I, a lot of times we have to go through a journey of rediscovering self love, because many of us feel like we are not worthy of the me or the I. We are not worthy of putting ourselves first, of prioritizing ourselves, of asserting ourselves. Or there may be fears or blockages around showing the world who we really are. And so sometimes heavy doses of self love are needed first in order to really embrace the transformation that you're undergoing. Ooh, okay. Anyway, so all of that was off the dome. Let's see what let's see what Laura says about the love card. Okay. Love is a force, a part of magic itself. It's a sense of wholeness without demanding perfection. Love yourself, love your practice. Why? You are in a relationship with yourself. You are also in a relationship with your body, your magic, the world around you, the spirits, ancestors, deities, etc. Your practice is an entity unto itself. It has a spirit or consciousness of its own, your partner in discovering the universe. Your practice loves you. It loves the idea of you. Not only you right now, but past you and future you as well. Embrace the sensual reality of being an embodied spirit. Then turn your eyes to the world and fall in love. Passion, devotion, desire, embodied are the themes. I love that. Passion in particular has been coming up as a very big theme for me for this phase. Okay, passion, 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 passion. All right, so let's keep that message for the collective: love intertwined, embracing love of self, passion, desire, embodying all of that. Libra, Venusian, physical, you know, loving energy. All right, let's get into it. Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. Let's see. We've got a few Pisces, sun, moon, and risings in the building. We're starting with you, Pisces. Pisces. Okay. Pisces. We have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Pisces, you be so emotional. Okay. All right. So for you, Pisces, I talk about the whole shift of energy, the whole new beginning feeling as something that's really exciting. But for you, it probably doesn't feel that way, and I feel like that makes a lot of sense. We've just left your season, right? So this is probably a time of the year where energy might be feeling a little bit lower for you, and there might be a lack of clarity for you about what your next step is or what it is that you want to embrace next. Because we have this major arcana card here coming up in the reverse. It feels like there's a change or a shift that is happening that maybe you don't really enjoy or want to be a part of. It's like a little bit of a resistance to change. It doesn't feel very comfortable for you. You are really in your water element, and here we are now in this season of high, intense, double whammy fire, and then boom, all this air comes to just elevate that fire. And it's probably feeling like the world is a little hostile, a little aggressive, a little hot right now. It seems like things are just like firing off left and right. And that's making you feel really uncertain about moving forward with your own plans and goals or your own ideas of what you want from the world. Because it just seems like everything that's going on outside of you isn't really in alignment with where you want to be. It's very unsettling. I don't think it's very easy for you, Pisces, to go through big transitions and big shifts. It makes you feel just a little out of your way, because that's just really coming through really strongly with this card coming up in the reverse. But this wheel always goes around. It always goes around. There's really no stopping it. So as frustrating as it might be to know that the energy right now is not ideal for you, that is going to change. I think for you, you'll feel a lot better once we actually get to Taurus season and we go through all of this high intensity fire. It doesn't mean obviously that like nothing in your life will happen between now and then. But it just means that if you're not loving the idea of making forward progress or starting over at the moment, that's okay. If you need to kind of take the month to like readjust and just get acclimated to the idea of change, that's okay. When Taurus season comes through, it feels like the energy will be a little bit better for you to actually see this turn around and, be ready to go forward with whatever it is that you're working on or want to get started on. I feel drawn to pay attention to the little books in the cards, something that I never really noticed before. I pulled this card for myself recently and it spoke to me. So I feel like some of the Pisces in the room might be thinking of starting over in terms of either like academic education, going back to school, doing some type of certification, taking classes in person, online, etc. And it might be feeling like there's some blockages around that or etc. It's okay. I wouldn't panic. Your opportunity to pursue those things is coming. It just might not be the right time for you right now because this time of year is a little anxiety inducing for you. All right, Pisces. Next, we have Aquarius. Aquarius. All right, Aquarius. We have the Three of Swords in the upright here, okay? So we have this theme of love coming through for the collective. So this might be a really big one. Um, a really big one for you, Aquarius, okay? Some endings in our love life, some losses, some pains that maybe need to be addressed. Remember, I said we're in between these two new moons in Aries. So we're balancing the whole I am and me with the us and the we. And it very much feels like that's something that you are going through right now, where you are maybe reclaiming some of your own identity from a relationship. You might be going through a breakup or the ending of a relationship that is still being healed, and you're kind of going through that process of like loving yourself back into oneness, loving yourself back into wholeness, loving yourself back into to yeah, to being one with yourself. Because I feel like sometimes relationships can kind of break us off into pieces, and we're not necessarily always able to be on to just really be fully ourselves in relationships. We sometimes have to kind of compromise ourselves a little bit, or not have to, but I feel like that does happen. And so when we're out of a relationship, now it's time to kind of come back to being one and come back to being ourselves again. If you are in a relationship, you might be dealing with a little bit of that, and there might be a breakup impending, or you might be considering it, and you're basically trying to decide between the me and the we. Am I sacrificing some of myself in order to have this relationship? And I do think if the answer is yes, that's something that really needs to be considered. And this full moon brings illumination to the situation. And then we have all of this Libra vibe in this card, from the swords to the hearts, the idea of justice, harmony and peace and balance and love and beauty, all embodied in this. So I really think this full moon would be helpful for you. So if you're in a relationship and you're considering whether or not to stay in it, this full moon in Libra might be really helpful for shining light on the relationship, helping you to see it for what it really is. It might also be very helpful if you need to actually get rid of somebody, if you need to banish somebody, get somebody out of your space, finally say goodbye, finally cut all of the ties. You feel real tied up in here. Finally shed all the skins and cut all the ties and all that good stuff. Some type of banishing ritual, cord cutting. This feels very much like cord cutting energy. Might be something that you will want to do for this full moon. Okay, that's Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising. Hi, Anthony. Oh, good. I'm glad that resonates. Thank you, Maruta, for helping Destiny. Yes, private readings can be had in person at my shop or virtually online, bronxwitch.com, and the links are in the description. All right, Capricorn. Getting the full moon in Libra message for Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn, we have the Hangman in the reverse, okay? An opportunity to see things from a new perspective, first of all. The full moon aspect is coming through strongly. This is very illuminating for you. For each of you, it will be different what it is that you need to look at from a different perspective, but it's Capricorn, so it's probably work. It's probably work, okay? Yes, Capricorn. And that tree that we're rooted to feels very much work. It feels very much like our work product, the things that we are rooted to. And Capricorn, you know, you are all about your work product, all about your job, all about whatever it is that you are growing in this world, whatever you are rooted to. And it looks like this is an opportunity for you to see this from a new perspective. This new moon is coming through with a lot of illumination for you. Very much feels like it's up in the head. So meditation might be helpful. Journaling about your dreams might be helpful, but you might be actually getting some psychic downloads or some impressions, some visions that really help you see things a lot more clearly, as it relates to your work or your career, before than you were before. And it might involve a pivot. It might involve a pivot, but I want you to see this pivot as an opportunity to pursue new things and to try new things. Um, because you are happy to stay where you're at if the coin is right and all of that, and it's comfortable and all of that, and you shine and you do well. You're happy to stay in a place for a good long time. Um, so sometimes things need to be shaken up a little bit in order for you to be willing to go do something different. Okay. And this feels like that's what you're getting. You're getting an opportunity to see things differently so that you can maybe do things differently. All right. So there may be a pause of some kind that happens related to work. You might have a suspension. You might take a break. You might, you know, it might be forced upon you. It might be the job itself is changing in some way where you are being given some downtime. But whatever it is, I encourage you not to look at it as a bad thing. See this as an opportunity to see things from a different perspective. Take advantage of maybe some free time or some downtime that you previously haven't had so that you can explore some other opportunities because you're going to make it work, Capricorn. Okay. So don't be so afraid to explore some of these new opportunities just because you haven't proven that it's going to result in the success that you are accustomed to or that you want to have. You're going to make it successful. So go ahead and give yourself the opportunity to actually try them out. Sagittarius. 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 Sagittarius, we have the Three of Pentacles. Okay, it is time to show ourselves off a little bit. It's time to put ourselves out there and really show people what we've got. Okay, this is not super transformative for you. With this minor arcana energy, this feels like this is work that you've already been doing. So we're not talking about like making big changes or whatever. The path that you are on is the right path, particularly if you are an artisan or a creator of any kind. If you make something, if you work with your hands, you're on the right path. The question now is, are the right people seeing what you make? Do they know about you? And what you might want to call this full moon in Libra energy in 4 is to help you to really show off. Okay, use that illuminating full moon energy to shine light on what parts of yourself you might really want to put out into the world and show people more. In this day and age, that has a lot to do with social media. In this card, the merchant is standing up on like a platform in the like merchant hall or whatever, showing off his wares to folks who are deciding, how to bid on what they're seeing. And back in the day, that would have been like Facebook. That would have been like, what's going on in the town? You'd go to the marketplace and it'd be like, whoever was up on the board would be like telling what was happening. You know what I mean? This is where you would find out stuff. So in our world, this is more like social media. This might be pop up festivals and fairs. Okay. These are our more modern opportunities to show off ourselves, but wherever it is that your community gathers, conferences, things like that, whether they be virtual or they be in person, wherever it is your audience, your buyer, your ideal customer, your ideal purchaser, your ideal consumer, wherever it is that they congregate, you need to start showing up in those places and showing yourself off a lot more. And Libra is great energy to do this in because Libra is all about the beauty. Libra is all about the beauty. Okay. So you can call in this full moon in Libra energy to really help you show up in a way that is pleasing and appealing to everybody. Okay. Um, Call that beautiful energy. And when I think of Libra, I think of red roses and, velvet and soft fabrics and white silk and things like that. And so there's a lot of luxurious sort of, not necessarily like money luxury, but just like sensual luxuriousness. There's a lot to do with like the body, with her and how people are conceiving of her and things like that. If you're thinking of doing magic to help you with this, Sagittarius, some glamour magic right now might be really very useful. I would definitely call in the Libra energy to help you with some glamour magic, help you to show up as beautiful, help you to get into the minds, that air, that sword energy, get into the minds of your ideal customer, your ideal vendor, and ask, how can I be beautiful to you so that you can represent yourself in that way and cast that illusion so they see exactly what it is they need to see from you in order to want to shop with you, buy from you, etc. Okay, so it's time to show off. All right, and if you feel like you need help with showing off, call on Libra energy to cast some glamour magic and take control. Like we get scared when it's like, oh, show yourself off to the world. It's like, oh no, I'm going to show myself off to the world. But you're not a victim. You don't have to show yourself off to the world and then just like wait for people to decide. You can show yourself off to the world and decide how people are going to see you. And make it happen. Maruta, I keep getting messages to start a channel. When are you going to listen? When are you going to listen? And when I say call in the energy of this or that, you might be wondering if you are a new witch, like what is going on? Hey, Cynthia. What I mean by that is the energy that is happening around us, just like harnessing electricity and using it to turn on the light bulb, you can harness the energy that is around us. That's what we do with Reiki. That's what we do when we're casting magic. We are getting in touch with the energy that's around us and we're pushing it in one way or the other. And when I say call in the energy of the moon, I'm saying the energy of the moon is in Libra. She's in that vibe of Venusian beauty, of justice, of harmony, peace, balance, all of those elements. And so, if we can literally harness that energy and pull it into ourselves, we can use it, we can work with it. And if you want to know how to do that, I have a video called Drawing Down the Moon, which is a ritual. It's a Wiccan ritual, but everybody does this. It's just called different things. But you basically use water and the impressive nature of water to channel the energy of the moon into that water and then use that water either as a bath or drink it or whatever in order to actually call in the moon's energy into yourself. This is confirmation for Mika. You started your Patreon last month. Thinking about rolling out new content, I would definitely do that around this Libra moon. Call in that Libra energy and let it help you to like really beautify your package, whatever you're putting up. All right. Scorpio. Scorpio. Our full moon in Libra message for Scorpio. Scorpio, we have judgment. Judgment. Okay, Scorpio. So, the transformative nature of this time period right now is it almost sort of feels like you have the opportunity to decide what you do to it with it. It almost feels like there's an opportunity here for you to really kind of call people to task. Because a lot of times when this card comes up, I am drawn to the figures in the boats and what they're doing. And here I'm really drawn to the angelic figure. So, Scorpio, it feels like protection is a big element for you. I'm also drawn to the equal arm cross, which for me is a protective and sealing type of a sigil. So, Scorpio, I don't know if people in your circle or situations in your life have been like unreasonably demanding or something like that, or like people have not been holding up their end of bargains, or people haven't been behaving in ways that like they just haven't been doing things right. And it sort of feels like it might be necessary for you to kind of draw attention to that and call people out and call people to task in a way and sort of turn your attention to people and say, listen, you, and you, this is not working. It feels like all the work, all the energy, all the effort has been on you. This could be in your career, in your workplace, or perhaps in your family, in your home, where you're being shouldered with like the larger uh, amount of the responsibilities. You have more of the burdens on your shoulders, and other people just aren't like carrying their weight as much. And with this full moon in Libra, balance, harmony, and justice are really important. And so it kind of feels like Libra is stepping in right now to be like, listen, I need to call out some injustices that I'm seeing. I need to call out some imbalances that I am seeing that I am just not pleased with. And it feels like that is you. That is your role. That is what you are doing. You are the talking piece for that. Okay, so you're kind of like being put in the position of judge here. And that may be because it affects you directly, whatever is going on, or it may just be because you are the most qualified person to draw attention to the situation. But whatever it is that's going on, it feels like you need to put up some protective shields around yourself, and call out the fact that other people are not like rising to the occasion or not taking up their, putting their best foot forward or whatever. It's a lot of like me, help me. And it's like, okay, well, when am I going to get the opportunity to get some assistance here? Because I'm always helping you guys out. I need to shield myself from you a little bit. I need to put up some protective barriers, and I need to let you know why. This is not like a ghosting situation. Like, I just need to get out of here because you guys are wearing me down. Scorpio, this is you actually, opening up your throat chakra, turning it into a horn and saying, da, 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 attention. I am taking my power back and I am no longer helping you guys. And you all need to help yourselves, and get it together. So it's a big turnaround for you, in terms of how you've been handling the situation, maybe up until now, because up until now, maybe you have been a lot more acquiescing. You've been keeping maybe things to yourself about, your frustrations around the situation. And now it is time to go ahead and let it out. Like I said, we're balancing the me with the we. And you may have been a little too far on the side of we, and now it is time to bring that in better balance with the me, especially because of the big changes that you might be going on. One of that going through in your life, one of them is no longer, keeping to yourself like what you're going through. All right, Scorpio. Libra, it is your moon. Libra. Thank you. I'm glad that resonated. A reminder, if the message resonates with you, to leave a super chat. If you're watching this on a replay, super thanks. You can scan the QR code at the top to leave a donation on my website or go to bronxwitch.com. It's very much appreciated. All of your love exchanges are going towards our online class portal. All right, Libra, we have the sun in the reverse here. Immediately, the first thing that I thought of was some inner child work. Okay, so that I think is very apropos for you, with it being the full moon in your sign, because this is going to want to just bring in a lot of illumination around the parts of yourself that maybe get a little bit neglected or a little bit ignored. It's always really important to have the trifecta, the balance of work, rest, and play. And so you may have had a lot of work and rest going on, but perhaps not enough play. So this is sort of a gentle reminder of the importance of incorporating play into your life, and the full moon might bring along some illumination about how you can do that, how you can incorporate a little bit more play into your life so that your inner child gets to sort of stretch its legs. Otherwise, this just feels really great. This feels like a really good time for you. It feels like you are enjoying the energy, enjoying the weather of the time. Obviously, we're all in different parts of the world, but certainly if you're a Libra in New York, the weather might be doing you really well. You might really be feeling energized and ready to get out and maybe show off even some different parts of yourself. But you are definitely very much in a self love type of place. I wouldn't expect a lot to be going on in terms of like relationships or anything like that over this next couple of weeks. I think the next couple of weeks for you really is just about breaking out of the shell of the winter, maybe a little bit, or just exploring other ways for you to incorporate play into your life. Fun with friends, maybe reconnecting with some hobbies and things that you used to do as a kid. So maybe if you used to play or dance or, I don't know, horseback ride or whatever as a kid, you might reconnect with some of those activities, or look for ways in which you can reconnect with some of those activities. But a good time for you, Libra. Good energy for you right now. Virgo. 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 We have the sun in the upright. I'm loving this energy for both you guys, Libra and Virgo. This is really wonderful. Um, Yeah, I just heard that song. Is it Nina Simone or Etta James? New dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, and I'm feeling good. So yeah, feeling good, Virgo, is very much the energy coming through with this full moon in Libra. I think this full moon in Libra for you is helpful because I think that Virgo energy can sometimes be really critical and get into the analysis paralysis mode, of overthinking things sometimes. And Libra, I think, is a breath of fresh air because it kind of allows for Virgo to uproot itself a little bit and be a little bit more loose and a little bit more flowy, and not so critical, and a little bit more open to the new opportunities and things that are happening. Like, I think sometimes Virgo energy can cut itself off from new opportunities because it wants to sit and analyze whether or not it's the absolute perfect one, or you know it wants to nitpick every little aspect of what's going on. And Libra is very much not like that. Libra is a lot more flowy, a lot more fluid, and a lot more willing to just sort of change direction as needed. That's a lot harder for Virgo. And so I think this energy is actually kind of helpful for Virgo to be like, you know what, let me just go with the flow. So I really want you to embrace that, Virgo, to try to call that energy in, call in this full moon in Libra energy, and let it allow you to go with the flow a little bit, because great opportunities are happening, beautiful things are happening. And the only thing that you could really do at this point, to get in the way, is to get in the way, I think. To overthink it, to be overly critical, to want to steer things. Notice how the child's just sitting on the horse. There are no reins. There's no riding crop. It just is going with it. That can sometimes be hard for you. So this full moon in Libra energy would be useful for you to call in to help you to go with the flow, because the opportunities are here and you've just got to ride with them and embrace them, and try not to get yourself tangled up, um, with your own overthinking. Okay, but you've got good things, good things. Ah, Lauren. Thank you. Leo. Leo. Thank you, Ginger Snap. The Sagittarius reading really resonated with my Sag moon. I'm glad. 333, yes. Okay, Leo. Leo, we have the Seven of Swords. Okay, Leo. So it feels like we're contemplating a shift, contemplating a move, contemplating getting out of Dodge. We have the Seven of Swords here. And a lot of times when the Seven of Swords comes up, it's interpreted as like a card of thievery or of stealing, because the individual seems kind of shifty, as he's walking away with these swords. I don't know if that shiftiness is coming through so much here. This really feels more like it may be necessary for you to take what you can, take what you can carry, and change course and move. You might not be able to take everything with you, um, that you've gathered, that you enjoy, that's on your mind. Yeah, but for whatever reason, that needs to that needs to happen, or at least the planning process needs to happen, because we do have the swords here. So we are focused on the mind and we are focused on the mental. So this full moon in Libra might help you to illuminate ways in which you can declutter, um, get rid of things, shed some of the things that you can't take with you, and start to mentally put together in your mind. It feels kind of like, like an escape plan, kind of, because he's looking back over his shoulder, like, who's following me? What's going on here? So it's not necessarily like a coordinated and encouraged departure. It's more of like a take what I can and go. But there needs to be some planning that goes into that. So this full moon phase might be a good time for you to take a look at your surroundings, see what things you really need, and start to gather them in a way that would allow you to easily kind of transport them, and take them where they need to go. This might be a little bit of a struggle, because the thing about this figure is he is facing backwards. He is looking back. So we are looking at our old stuff right now during this full moon, Leo. You're looking at your old stuff. You're looking at the old things that you have accumulated, that you've gotten comfortable with, that you've gotten used to, and you're reanalyzing and reconsidering all of them. And that may not be so fun, because you're also moving forward. So at the same time, there's the concern about, like, okay, well, but where am I going? What is going to be next? And I can't really see that or think about that until I take my eyes off of everything that's going on in the past. So I've got to analyze what those things are that cannot come with me. And I've got to let them go and redirect my attention into the moving forward. Okay, Leo. So whatever it is that's got you still kind of holding on to past stuff, you're going to want to let go of that. The full moon is a great time for banishing rituals, for releasing rituals, for letting go of things. So you might want to call in this full moon of Libra in order to banish and release anything that is holding you back, or that is preventing you from moving forward, or that just can't come with you, whatever the case may be. But it's a full moon in Libra, which means that you're going to be able to banish, release, remove with love, with fairness, with balance and harmony, and the wisdom that Libra has. Because wisdom, in order to be the justice bearer, in order to be the one that makes the decision, you have to have wisdom. I always think of, was it King Solomon, the one who was going to cut the baby? Whenever I think about Libra, you have to have that type of wisdom to realize, um, kind of be one step ahead of how things are going to play out. And so this is great energy for you to call on in order to make the process of banishing and releasing better. So you can do it from a place of love, a place of balance, and a place of wisdom. Okay. Lauren, dang, you're so correct. My hubby is Leo and is moving for the military to go live on the boat while I stay here because of housing. Ah, yeah. So definitely going to have to make some decisions about what can stay and what can go. It sounds like your husband in particular, but maybe you too, kind of being, living with him going through this energy, but definitely he is going to have to ask questions about, like, what is really wise to take with me. I'm moving into a new place and moving into a new phase in my life. How much of my past stuff really fits? How much of my past stuff really fits? This could be physical. Some of us might be going through physical transformations. So, like, how much of your old wardrobe fits your new job, the new career that you've got, the new thing that you're stepping into? Maybe it's people. How much do your current friends or community groups really fit the new mission that you have for your life, or purpose for your life, etc.? Yes, and it was the wisest option for the family. Good, good. Cancer. Full moon, Libra message for Cancer. Sun, moon, or rising. Cancer. All right, Cancer, we have the Nine of Wands here. And kind of similarly to Sagittarius, this feels like the continuation of something that you've been currently working on. So it doesn't feel like this full moon is ushering in um, anything new for you. Rather, this feels like the peak of something, because here we have the number nine, which is the number of completion, the very largest of the whole numbers before we start over with 10, aka one. So this feels for you like you're at the peak of something, and the full moon is very much about the peak. It's about the completion of a cycle. So whatever it is that you are completing right now in your life, this full moon in Libra might be a good time for you to honor that, to express gratitude for that, to take a moment to kind of like pat yourself on the back a little bit and maybe treat yourself. The Nine of Wands is a sign of completion. Much has been accomplished. Many battles have been fought and won, which is fantastic. But you are definitely a little worse off for the wear. You're a little bit worn out from all of the effort and the energy. So for you, Cancer, this might be a really good time for you to give yourself a self care day. Okay. And Libra energy is the perfect energy for that. I'm seeing you giving yourself a luxuriating bath with like coconut milk and coconut oil and hydration. It just really giving yourself the opportunity to rest and reflect a little bit on all that you have accomplished, and give yourself some time before you start really thinking about what the next thing is, because that's what's next for you. Once we reach the nine, it's about time to start looking at what's next and what the new thing is going to be. So before we jump into that new thing, let's make sure to give ourselves some time to rest. So if you've already been thinking about new beginnings, new starts, whatever, I would not rush into that whatsoever. You have another opportunity for a great, astrological infusion of energy into new beginnings when we get to April 20th and we have that second new moon in Aries. So I wouldn't push trying to start over with anything new until then. I would give myself the time to rest, to relax, to recuperate, regenerate before starting something new towards the later part of April. Okay, for right now, it's an idea and it's great. Put it on the hold. Let yourself take a break. The Cancer in me is screaming, give me a break already. Yeah, yeah. Because I know, yeah, June, yeah, all the challenges of like job after job, moving different places, da 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 da. That is exhausting. That is exhausting. And so now that you've got it, it might be a good time, if you're in a good place, to say, okay, let me give myself some rest. Let me relax a little bit. And let me not be looking, having all the balls in the air, and let me just embrace rest. And then towards the end of the month, if there are ideas that you have for new beginnings, new regimens, new whatevers, I would hold it till the new moon and use that energy to really help you. All right, Gemini. Gemini. Shopping and a nail day. Yes. Yes, that's a perfect way for a Taurus moon to have some self care, some primping. All right, Gemini. Gemini, this full moon in Libra for you comes with some revelations. Some revelations, particularly in dreams and in meditations. You might have psychic dreams or psychic visions, premonitions. Now, what's interesting is usually now this is the Four of Cups, right? So there are four cups here. Wow, that's wild. And for whatever reason, however it is I'm looking at it, I don't know if it's the camera or whatever it's doing, but when I'm looking at it, the first three cups are gold and one in the back is like white. That's not how it is in the card. In the card, all four of them are the same color. But for whatever reason, the one in the back is coming up as white for me. And this is letting me know that typically the Four of Cups is about having like options in front of you and then waiting for a better option. But this is slightly different in this case, Gemini. Your dreams and your visions are going to give you some insight into which of the choices in front of you is the best one. So I feel like Gemini, you have some choices that need to be made, or there are some options that are laid out in front of you for what you need to be doing next, or what you want to be doing next, or what have you. And it's like you're unsure of which to go with. You don't necessarily feel too pressed to choose, but you're just sort of in a space of deciding, of analyzing, of waiting. And you're wondering, like, when is that going to happen? It's probably going to happen sometime this week, and it'll happen in the form of like a vision or a dream or some type of impression that maybe happens while your eyes are closed. So you might not be asleep, but you might just be kind of thinking, and then suddenly you get like clarity about which of these options is the best one for you. Amen. Because the answer is completely divinely inspired. I want to say that you might actually have a specific spirit, a specific ancestor or spirit that is actually going to be the deliverer of this message. They might come through in a dream. You might actually see a physical form of somebody that you know or that you can recognize in some way as a guide, ancestor, what have you, actually come through and give you indication of which of the options in front of you is the best one for you. So if you've been sort of saying to yourself, can you just show me which one? The answer is yes, and it's coming. The answer is yes, and it's coming. Don't ask me why it hasn't come until now. That's probably individual to all of you. The answer is yes, and it's coming, Gemini. All right, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I want to thank all of you guys who have given super chats. If you're watching this on a replay, thank you for your super thanks. Thank you for scanning the QR code or giving a donation at bronxwitch.com. We are raising funds for the online class portal that is going to launch on April 20th. This is going to be a space where I can provide all of my classes online and all of the classes from the Shop Witches online so that you are able to take our classes even if you are not able to get to New York City and come to the shop. So that is what we are raising funds for. So I thank you in advance for that. And if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can do that at bronxwitch.com. You can see me in person at my shop, or you can get a virtual reading, and all the links are in the description box. All right, Taurus. Oh, I'm going to leave a message for Taurus. Taurus, we have the Sun in reverse. Okay. And remember, I said one of the reasons why I was like, I don't even know if it makes sense to do zodiac readings because so many times the card is the same because we're all being impacted by this similar energy. So here we go again with the Sun in reverse, this time for Taurus, another sign that is going to be enjoying a lot of the opportunities to let their inner child play and really enjoy this time. Taurus and Libra are connected, being both ruled by Venus. And so this would also be a good time for you, Taurus, to really enjoy yourself. We're just talking June. We're just talking about their Taurus moon, enjoying some self care, some play. So, whatever that means for you, for June, play looks like shopping and getting your nails done. For some, that might be active sports. For some, it might be going out, to the club with your friends, whatever it is. Taurus, for you, this full moon in Libra is ushering in a reminder to make sure that your inner child is getting the opportunity to play, to express itself, making sure that you have the holy trifecta. We always talk about work and rest, but we often forget about play, and we need to have all three in happy balance. And so this full moon in Libra is an opportunity for you to do that for yourself, Taurus. This is a major arcana card, and it feels like, for me, it's like a big change is happening in your life. The big change can be tiring for you, Taurus. You are in your earth element and you prefer a slow mosey than a hard sprint. And this double new moon in Aries energy is very much like hard sprint. So you have probably been making a lot of changes already and doing a lot of things differently and feeling yourself stepping into a new space, which is cool and wonderful and fun. Oh my God, Siren. Yes, we get it. We get it. Emergency. Jeez. I feel like it's just like going around the block. My apologies. But anywho, Taurus, yes. That energy may have been nice for you, but I feel like for you, you need to take maybe more rests even than others might. So as much as you might be welcoming the breath of fresh air that Aries season has brought, because it's probably lighting a little fire under you to get things done and make progress, make changes, etc. But it's still important to understand your nature, and it's still important to understand that you are who you are, and that high energy periods for you means you need rest periods and you need play periods. So make sure that you're incorporating that into your life over the next couple of weeks and taking advantage of any opportunities to rest and play to balance that out with some of the work that you may have been doing. All right, Aries. Aries, Aries, Aries. My hot, fiery Aries. Full moon and Libra message for the Aries. Hmm? Aries. Double whammy message for you. Two cards came out. I was kind of wondering when we were going to see this card, and here we are now. We've got the Two of Cups, very much echoing the message of our Oracle collective message of love, which makes a lot of sense that Aries would pull a card that connects with the collective energy, because we are feeling the collective energy of Aries, being in Aries season, flanked by these two double new moons in Aries. It is big energy, and so it makes sense that the vibe would be picked up really strongly by Aries. So for you, Aries, partnership is going to be important. Love is going to be a theme for you. How you connect with others is going to be significant. We have the snake in both cards just attaching together. So it feels almost like you are transforming, and you might also be partnered with somebody who is also transforming, or you might be interested in somebody who is also transforming. And it's like you're transforming in a way that's bringing you closer together, and you're transforming in a way that's very similar with each other. So That's really beautiful. So if you're already partnered Aries, you might be going through like a spiritual level up, and maybe you're bringing your spouse along with you, or you're sharing what you're learning with your couple. Maybe you and your partner have joined a coven or a church organization together or whatever. But this really feels like there's growth, there's healing. We have this reference with the Caduceus to health and healing, but also to negotiation and communication. So it seems like you are leveling up, you are healing. Maybe you're in therapy. Okay, maybe you're in therapy, because we have this energy exchange here. So maybe you have met a therapist, that is really helping you to heal some of your wounds and level up and grow. So this partnership might not be romantic at all. This partnership might be professional. This might be a medical doctor, a mental health professional, or somebody who is helping you to heal, helping you to love your body, for all that it is, and really connect with yourself. Okay, so many different Aries out there that's going to come to you guys in a lot of different ways. Is it time to finally bust out the love attraction soap? I would say so. I would say so, Nisi. If you're an Aries, definitely. If you are looking for love, the energy for that is very, very wonderfully right now for connecting and partnerships. And then we also have the Knight of Pentacles that came out for you, Aries, as well in the reverse. Okay. Okay, so for like the different iterations of how this partnership or coupling is pairing for Aries, the Knight of Pentacles kind of speaks differently. For some, this may actually be the individual that you've been maybe waiting on. You see, you talked about using your love attraction soap. I would say this would be the individual who is out there and kind of been maybe waiting for the energy to shift or waiting for the energy to change. Who knows? Maybe they have something personal going on in their lives that needed to be wrapped up. But the Knight of Pentacles, is very like a slow moving knight. He's got a message. He's coming, but he takes his time and he really plots things out and is very, very slow moving. Abundant and wonderful once he arrives, but very slow moving. So it feels like there may be a partner or partnership that's kind of like out there in the ethers that you just haven't opened up to call into your life right now. And this full moon in Libra might be the perfect time to really open yourself up to that, to look at yourself and say, how have I healed? Am I ready for relationships? Am I ready for partnerships? Do I love myself? Have I made this transition into someone who really embraces and loves themselves? Because if so, then that could open up the avenue for our knight in shining armor over here, to finally come forward. But the Knight of Pentacles is not going to move into town unless the situation is right. This is not the Knight of Wands, full steam ahead, fuck it and find out, fuck around and find out. We'll deal with it when we get there. That's not that energy. The Knight of Pentacles is, oh no, we're going to sit here until we get the signal that all is well, and then we're going to come into the village. So if love is something, partnership, romantic, or otherwise is something you've been wanting to bring into your life and haven't been able to do it yet, it's probably because things did not look good in your neck of the woods. There was some healing and growth that needed to be done. And now that that has happened, the situation is much better to usher in this love. If that hasn't happened, that is what I would use this full moon in Libra for. If you feel like you are in Aries and you would like partnership, relationships, maybe you're single and you want to get with somebody, but you know that there's pain, trauma, things that you need to work on with yourself, this full moon in Libra might be able to help you with that. The full moon offers her illumination so you can see what parts of you are needing, um, to be addressed. And then you have the balancing and harmonious energy of Libra to come in there and say, this has to go, this has to go, this can stay, and help you to kind of open yourself up, become the open cauldron that's at the top of the card so that you can actually receive partnership with others, etc. Ginger snap for you. Alrighty. I think that's everybody. Yes, I think so. So, a reminder, guys, if those messages resonated with you, a super chat or super thanks is a great way to say thank you and exchange the energy. You can also scan the QR code at the top of the screen or go to bronxwitch.com and click on the ways to support page. All of these ways are all going towards funding the online class portal. So, the herbalism classes, crystal classes, sex magic classes, all of the amazing classes that we're teaching at HQ, I can start making available to you guys online through the online course portal. So thank you so much for supporting that and for exchanging energy with me. All right. You are so welcome, Linda. Thank you. Thank you. Don't forget to get your mugs. 6 more in the shop, I think. Maybe 5, because I think I got an order for one this weekend. Yes, the Taurus reading was amazing. Thank you, June. I'm glad. I am glad. I get so much from these readings. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you, Maruta. Thank you guys so much. If you want to get private readings with me, I am available in the shop. So if you want to meet with me in person, you live in New York City, you can book me in the shop. I have some limited hours in the shop. If you're not able to, you can get private readings with me online. I do virtual readings when I'm not in the shop. So, and that's not often. So, but my books are open for the month of April. So definitely check the links in the description box if you want to come and see me one-on-one. Thank you, June. You better read. Yes, you know I'm gonna read. Okay. If nothing else. Yes. Thank you guys. Have a great day, June. It was so good seeing you. I can't believe you're already talking about getting your nails done because your nails were on fleek. They were fleeky. Do they still say that? Do the kids still say fleek? They were fleeky if they were. Yes, you have Calabash of Calories on the way. Sweet. Yes, Calabash of Calories should be restocked in the shop. I forgot to restock it. I will. We got like 5 or 10 more in the shop. And I started reading last night. I always start with the introduction and the forwards and stuff like that. I feel like, I don't know, I just like to do that. So I read all that stuff last night. So, yes, getting started. Looking forward to reading the rest of it. You know, jambalaya is my jam, so I'm excited to learn more about the Orisha. All right, y'all. I will see all of you tonight at 7 p.m. for the season 2 premiere of the Better Witch podcast. We will be meeting with Sarah Lyons. The episode is called Be a Better Baby Witch. Sarah Lyons is the author of How to Study Magic, which we read in January in the book club. Folks really enjoyed the book, so I thought it would be good to start the season with her as well and talk a little bit about what does it mean to be a baby witch and how do we go from being baby witches to being better witches and drop the baby term. So we're going to talk about that tonight. It is airing as a watch party. Okay. It is a season premiere watch party. So that means the episode's going to air live and there will be live chat. So I will be in the chat. I'll be inviting everybody to tune into the chat. And so you might see some of your favorite witches in the chat box. And yeah, I hope to see you guys there. Oh, and high tea. I'm probably going to go live with Just the Coven for high tea on Thursday evening. And I have scheduled it in my calendar and stuff like that because it's actually kind of a big deal if I'm able to pull this off. I'm going to go live. I think I'm going to schedule it for 7 o'clock, like around 7 o'clock on Thursday. And what that means is I am going to have to leave the shop at 5 to come home and like have dinner and get ready. Which means I will have to leave the shop in the capable hands of my shop witches for the first time ever. I am going to let Chelsea and Alexis close, and I'm going to leave a little before closing so that I can be over here by 7. A little nerve-wracking. They're amazing. I know it's going to be fine, but it is a big moment for me. So far I have let them be in the shop without me. I've gone to the post office to take your packages. I do that on Fridays usually, so I've done that 2 Fridays in a row now, and all has been fine. But yeah, this will be the first time that I've ever not been at the shop for an opening or a closing and let them do it. So this will be a test for me. If I'm here at 7 o'clock, then you know that I was able to rise to the challenge and walk away and let them take care of it and not freak out. So yes, that should be happening. I'm trying to be more okay with my divine femme and how important expressing that physically is. Got to be pretty to honor myself. Yes, the Libra energy is all about that, connecting with the divine feminine and all of her, very sort of like traditional, pretty Venusian. I think Venus de Milo, Aphrodite, energy. It is a big deal, Lauren Berg. It is a big deal. I know. I'm like, I'm kind of freaking out about it, but I have picked the most amazing shop witches. The universe has sent me the most amazing shop witches. They are literally like cut out of my vision board. So I know that it'll be just fine. I've chosen a day where both of them are going to be there. They're not always there at the same time, but Thursday happens to be a day where both of them are usually there. And so I'm going to do it on a day where they're both there so they can support each other while closing, and hopefully anything that one might miss, the other one catches, and we'll have a perfect close up. And when I come in Friday morning to open, it'll be beautiful and everything will be in its right place. So yeah, I have, I think I've picked the best. Yeah, I did. I think I have. I can't even really feel super responsible for it because I feel like the universe sent them to me. But I have been sent a really great team of witches to work with. Madeline the other day said we're a coven of solitary witches, and I was like, yep, that's exactly right. They really embody that. They all have their own personal practices. They have their own areas of expertise. I learn so much every day just being in the shop with them. Oh my gosh, my crystals knowledge has gone through the roof being with Alexis. She has been teaching me so much. She's taking me to a gem show in May so I can make some gem connections, to make sure I'm getting like the best crystals for you guys and stuff. So I'm just learning so much from them. And I'm really, really grateful for their presence. And I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good. So, but yeah, if I'm here at 7 o'clock, it's because I pulled that off. So fingers crossed. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Happy full moon in Libra. May you have a beautiful, happy pink moon. If you're watching this on a replay and the messages resonated with you, please leave a super thanks. Scan the QR code or go to bronxwitch.com and click on ways to support. You are helping us to fund our new online class portal that is scheduled to debut April 20th. And I will see the rest of you tonight for the season premiere of season 2, BetterWitch. No, not California. All right, guys. See you later. Have a great day. Blessed be.